Hey, great to have you here on my YouTube channel or watching this video. If we haven't met yet, I am Michelle, and you can find me over at thesoultranslator.com and as well at the Empowered Empath Soul Camp. So I work with soul translation and empowering empaths and empathic entrepreneurs to bring their gifts out to the world and to do it in bold, courageous, and strong, spiritual, sensitive ways. So today in this video, we're going to be talking about empathic transference. What is that, Michelle? It's what we do and feel and experience every day. So I don't know about you, but I have had so many times in my life where somebody has said, oh, but you really need to, feel this from my point of view, see it from my point of view, or literally, hey, can you walk in my shoes for a mile and know what this is like for me? And it's a little bit like, hello, do you know who you're talking to? In fact, for most of us empaths and sensitives, that's the problem. That's because we are actually so much so, and too much so often, in other people's shoes, seeing things from their point of view, that is causing a lot of problems for many of us, in the sense of we're just getting lost in others. I was in a conversation the other day with a friend of mine, and we were talking about there's a lot of stuff that happens for empaths energetically where we merge into somebody else's energy, or they merge into our energy. And I was joking around with my friend and I said, well, Diane, no, I think merging lanes are only for highways, not for people. But let's talk about this empathic transference, because it's the number one blessing and also challenge for empaths and sensitives. I also, at the end of this video, I've got 3 little mindset practices that you can keep in mind and remind yourself of them. It's a little acronym so that you can really stay in your own lane. This is the big thing with empaths and sensitives, and this is a big part of the work that I'm very passionate about, is the stronger the empath you are, the more you have the capacity to lose yourself in other people. The other side of that is the stronger that you are in your sensitivities, the stronger you are as an individual, that then can also truly show up for others and in your work and in who you are meant to be, with your gifts and talents and abilities that are going to help your life and then as well help others. But that's why I call it the me path instead of the empath, because it's got to begin with you. It's got to begin with your connection to yourself, to your soul, to source, and then to others. So this may be a little bit of a different bit of information I want to share here. Please don't take any insult to this, but I think most animal empaths are going to really get this one. I'm reading this book right now. I know it's backwards. It's called Your Dog is Your Mirror by Kevin Behan, and it's the emotional capacity of our dogs and ourselves. He's a wonderful trainer, works on the emotional level, energetic level with dogs. All right, I want to just share a little bit from this book, because this is probably going to be like, wait, who are we talking about, dogs or people? Imagine if we could meet someone and virtually on site or with a touch feel what that person was feeling. I don't mean trying to imagine how they're feeling or asking, how do I feel if I were in their shoes? I mean actually feeling the other person's emotions without any thinking whatsoever, an empathic communication of pure energy, a one-for-one transference in every nuance and subtlety of one individual's feelings to another. I'm like writing in here saying, yeah, actually, that is true. That's already happening. If such direct communication were possible, then the other person's words and even their actions wouldn't matter most to us. In fact, they might be irrelevant. Only what they are feeling would matter. Interestingly, if we wanted something, we'd want them to have it. Interesting, if they wanted something, we'd want them to have it. We wouldn't negatively judge what that person was feeling, because we would be feeling exactly the same way. It would feel good to give that person what they wanted so that they could feel good, because we would then feel good too. If the person's feelings change, we would feel the change and would require no reason for it. We would have no need to save face or hold on to a feeling that was no longer present. We would know what that person was about to do even before they acted. Sound familiar? It would be easy to come to trust them. No matter what they did, it would all make sense to us since we would be experiencing it for ourselves. There wouldn't be two points of view to reconcile. There would only be one emotional point of view. Even more important, if this person were deeply upset, we would feel it, and we would feel compelled to find relief in order to be near them. In other words, we would find ourselves responding to that person and to all others and behaving just as dogs do, from heart to heart. Empathic transference. So please don't take any insult that I'm comparing humans, empaths, to dogs. However, I have to say it is no wonder that the majority of empaths have an extremely tight affinity with animals and with dogs and cats, but with animals in general, because there is this understanding, this mutual empathic transference, that we feel comfortable with each other because it's like we're energetically getting each other. So, this is maybe a far reach comparison for some who are watching this, but for others, it's like, oh my God, absolutely, that some of us can show up in our relationships and in our lives, in our work, like dogs do, where we are in that energetic, emotional, empathic transference with those around us. So when somebody says to us, can you see something from my point of view? It's like, oh, honey, what do you mean to see it from your point of view? I'm already feeling it. I'm already living it. I'm already on a certain level, holding it, containing it, and nurturing it from your point of view. Now, the really great side of this is that so many empaths and sensitives are incredible healers, incredible counselors, spiritual guides, doctors, psychologists, writers. We are often in these places and these roles of being listeners and being able to take care of, on a very deep level, the emotional world of others, and as well the general kind of energetic place of healing and possibility and expression and communication, because there's a lot that empaths and sensitives do with channeling information. On the other side of that, of course, is oh my gosh, how easily can we lose ourselves at other people, and how almost second nature it is to be seeing the world through somebody else's eyes, feeling the world through somebody else's emotions, as if they were our own. So my big thing around empaths and sensitives is having the best of both worlds. How to be an individual, how to be separate yet connected, how to be able to truly, adamantly, and in a really beautiful sense of standing up for ourselves and our own uniqueness, and then at the same time still being able to foster and maintain and keep those channels open of that deep resonance that we are capable of and that we naturally are wired for. Empaths and sensitives simply have a more attuned tuning fork when it comes to frequencies and resonance. We have a tightened, tauter system of energy and emotion, whether that is to animals, to others, to nature, to spirit world, whatever it may be for you. And some of us are all of the above, and some are highly strong in one or two channels. So here is an acronym I'd love for you to remember in times where you're feeling like maybe you're starting to merge a little bit too much, or you are forgetting your own beautiful uniqueness and individuality when you're starting to merge on the highway of someone else's life and experience. So the acronym here is ACT, and yes, there is a double meaning on that one. The A is for accommodation. So this is where you basically check in with yourself and you say, who am I accommodating here? Am I accommodating them, or am I accommodating myself? This is where we give ourselves the benefit of the doubt that if you feel like your energies are beginning to get drained or leaking or dispersed by the energy of others around you or the group or the setting that you're in, this is when you turn around, give yourself the benefit of the doubt, which is a whole nother topic. We'll do another video on that one. And you go into, wait a second, how can I accommodate myself right now? So accommodation may mean listening to yourself, respecting yourself, making a different decision of who you're choosing to be around in that moment, or also what you may want to say or may not want to say in a situation. But the point here is to accommodate yourself. Look at yourself first, feel into yourself, and see how can I accommodate myself here. The next one is the C, means consciously choose you. So there's kind of a double C there, consciously choose. This is where you want to make sure that you're making yourself a priority. And not only a priority, but you're taking some time to really foster what is it about you that makes you unique, makes you your gifts or your special talents and abilities, really honoring your strengths and your talents and your particular view on the world. Empaths, we have this tendency to, because we can so easily lose ourselves in the emotions in the world around us, we have this tendency to forget about our own uniqueness, and then we can go into a lot of comparison. And the reason why we do that, I believe, and in my experience, personally and professionally, I see this all the time, is because we're trying to find our uniqueness again. And in a sea of people and in the sea of emotions and energy, we can kind of get lost and feel like we aren't that, our uniqueness is not that special. So we can go into a lot of comparison. And everybody does this, but of course, if you are a sensitive, you've got this to a certain extent, to a bigger degree, simply because you are taking in so much around you, which of course is different than those people who are really, not feeling the world as much, not feeling others, and they're really more absorbed into their own world and sense of self. And of course, there's the other extreme of that, where we go into major self-absorption, even to the point of being narcissistic. That, again, also is a whole nother topic. I do have a video on why empaths and narcissists get involved. Okay, so now the last one. Let's get back to the acronym, which is the T. This is the T, which stands for truth. Now, I want to make a distinction here with this one. Truth is not about honesty. Truth is about facts. So sometimes, when we're processing things or we're trying to understand something or get to the meaning of it, we can go into interpretation. And that's different than truth. But what I suggest you do is look at what is the real truth of the matter. What are the facts here? And that can help you kind of get out of the justification stuff we can do sometimes. So for instance, if you are with somebody and there's a historical proof that this person is not treating you right, or that you feel overrun by them and their energies, or you feel like there has been too many conflicts between you and this person, and you're continually still trying to see the things from their point of view, but when you look at the history, you go, the fact is, I'm always calling them. The fact is, whenever we have an argument, I'm fixing it. So you want to look and see, what are the facts, Jack? What are the facts, ma'am, in your situation, so that you can get the real truth of what's really happening in the situation or how you feel about it. So looking at the facts. All right, so the first one, again, just as a recap, A is to be accommodating towards yourself. Give yourself the benefit of the doubt that what you may be feeling is true and valid and separate from the other person. The next one is consciously choosing you, making yourself a priority, including your energetic and empathic self-care. And then the next one is the truth, the T, looking at the facts of the situation so that you can really make a healthy decision of how do you want to now act And that was a beginning acronym, right? Okay, so please do remember that merging is only for the highway. It's not for people. Please honor your beautiful empathic self, wonderfully unique and certainly separate individual from others, that you can remain connected, but really getting into a place of appreciating your individuality and knowing how to truly take care of yourself energetically, emotionally, spiritually, and if you do work as an entrepreneur, and taking care of your energies all in that process so that you can be really there for yourself and then by default and ripple effect there for others. All right, thank you for tuning in. Again, my name's Michelle from thesoultranslator.com and also the Empowered Empath Soul Camp. I'll see you next time, and so much love.